Hey there. Hello, RamVet community and anyone else who happens to be listening right now. Hello.
What's up?
We are the Vet Scoop. You'll remember me, hopefully. I'm Cassidy, and with me is the new SVAF president who is going to be replacing me here soon, Damian Grady. How are you, Damian?
Well.
You're well.
Glad to be here.
You are glad to be here.
Yeah.
I surely hope so, because we're glad to have you. And you'll notice that Mike is currently missing. He did some stuff for his internship with the Super Bowl, so he's out of town currently, but he will return and be our third until I depart, and then he departs, and then Damian is running solo. Who can say? It's a surprise. So, well, let's get business out of the way, because otherwise we'll forget to talk about it. And I think first we should talk about what's coming up this coming Friday, because it's our most time-sensitive issue.
Right.
So
this Friday, as you guys know, that every first Friday of the month we try to do an event. But unfortunately, the first Friday of February we got canceled due to inclement weather. So we decided to reschedule it for this Friday, February 18th at 6 p.m. at Frames NYC.
okay.
There's an email that was sent out this morning, so Tuesday, February 15th. So check that. It has all the details about that. Just go ahead and register for that, so we have an idea of how many people are going to show up. It should be a good time. We'll probably be there for probably from 6 to 8, so 2 hours, and then hang out afterwards.
What is the activity?
Bowling. And winner, make some Fordham gear. We'll see.
Ooh, who can say? I will say that at the fall social, we did a raffle with some Fordham swag, and it went down really well. Our friend Miguel somehow finagled himself into winning like a quarter.
Yes,
of everything.
he won like 4 things. It was like
I don't know how he did it. Stop the steal. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm really excited. I was initially obviously signed up to go to First Friday and was disappointed that it got canceled. So I'm looking forward to attending. I am a terrible bowler. I really am.
So it's a joy.
I love a bumper moment.
Maybe celebrate bowling, but you're a competitor.
That's true. I love to win. It's the only option as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll just steal the prize and I'll have one, So, all right. So we have First Friday covered this coming Friday, the 18th. Very exciting. If you miss it, we'll of course have another First Friday in March. Yep. So you'll have to just keep an eye on the Horn newsletter. You could also navigate towards our next topic, which is the new SVAF, or rather just the general veterans.
SVAF and OMBS.
Yeah. Blackboard. We have a new Blackboard page, which is really exciting, really convenient. It's sort of like our single share point, basically, of anything that you could want as far as Fordham veterans and military affiliated students are concerned. So, let's talk about some of the stuff that we're finding on there.
So pretty much it's just everything that we kind of push out, and we just all want it to be in one spot. And Blackboard is a tool that, hopefully that you use. I mean, if you're going to school here, you kind of get on it every day. So we had the idea of, well, what if we put all of our resources there, so we know you have to check Blackboard. Pretty much, it has the VA education benefits. It has a link to that. And there's a lot of questions, so a lot of information on there. So if you have any questions about that, we have a link to that. You can look up the information. We have information about the SVAF, so things that we're currently working on. There's a calendar in there for that. We know there's a big thing that people come into Fordham that have issues with finding housing, right? So we even have a tab for that to kind of help you navigate finding a housing situation.
That's been something a lot of people have mentioned when we ask them for feedback as far as what can we do to help the veteran community.
Right.
So I really like that. I think there's a sense of comfort in you're more comfortable rooming with someone who has a shared experience than just a complete and total stranger.
Right. So we kind of created a little link for that, and also a spreadsheet to kind of navigate that whole housing situation. So I mentioned the BA education, SVAF.
We know that there are times that people don't have access to us as an office, or maybe the person that you need to speak to isn't here. So on that Blackboard page, which you'll find under organizations, if you're a veteran or military affiliated student at Fordham, you would have auto been added to it. So go to organizations, you'll find it there. There is a spot under contact information to schedule on the calendar with Stephen and Matt, who are the assistant and the director of RamVets here at Fordham. I think that's a lot of questions that we can't answer as office workers. We do our best, but I think a lot of time we're directing people towards them. So this is a really great single point of access to being able to speak with them. Of course, given their scheduling requirements, but it's a lot more flexible, I think. So
also, there's a frequently asked questions tab. So, a lot of people have may have similar questions that you're probably asking yourself right now. So you can click the tab, maybe you find the answer there if you can't get a hold of us quickly. But
I'm really excited about it. I perused it a little bit just because I think it's important to have it be easy to read and understand and navigate.
There's also a discussion tab.
That's true.
So that also kind of helps. So
the
discussion tab really kind of there's a discussion tab about the VA education benefits, housing, and just pretty much everything that we discussed previously. So
I really like that because a lot of us have the same questions. So it's like it's a version of frequently asked questions, right? So really convenient. We also will have on there access to, I think you mentioned SVAF events are listed on there, which we have a couple of note that we want to mention before we forget to. So in March, you mentioned we have something coming up that I think a lot of people will really be interested in.
Yes, so we have the Veterans Resume Workshop that we're planning right now. We have a tentative date, so definitely be on the lookout for the email. But that's going to be towards the end of March, but before then, I know that we're also currently in the process of getting professional headshots done. So if you are a veteran, you need one of those photos taken, definitely be on the lookout. We're going to try to get that done before the workshop, so that way, you can have that professional headshot done, get your resume built, and also somewhere in there tying a LinkedIn day. So they all just come together and you all just square away. Because I know when I first started here, I didn't have a headshot. My resume was all out of whack because they had a bunch of just military stuff. And it's hard to kind of translate that into the civilian side. So we gotta try to get this workshop done, so you can have that help of translating those skills that you learn in the military. So it makes sense to civilian. And then you give them the headshot, and then you fill in their LinkedIn. They get your LinkedIn profile set. Because I didn't have one either. I was like, I don't. And a lot of people don't know that as a veteran, you have a year of a free premium, right? And that's a huge thing. It's
ginormous.
So we're gonna try to have a day to get all three of those set up, so that way you come in and you're square away. So that's one thing that we're really pushing. Because, like I said, a lot of people come in. We notice that you come in kind of a little bit behind the curve, and a lot of people they come to Fordham with 60 credits because of their military experience, and now you're already a junior. And speaking from my previous experience, I came in with a 60 credit, and a lot of times to get a job, right, you have to do an internship, which is in your junior year. So now you got the military, you transfer, you think it's your first semester of school. Yes, but it's also your junior year. Now you have to hit the ground running because you have to, lock down an internship. And now you're like, oh, well, I don't have my headshot for my LinkedIn. I don't have my resume. I don't have a LinkedIn profile set up. So to try to, mitigate all that, we're going to try to do it all, within that same week or even the same day. So that we're squared away. So definitely be on the lookout for that.
20 birds, one stone.
Absolutely.
We've sort of been MacGyvering our headshots recently. Like, we'll take them to the hallway and we're like, there's a white wall. Just stand there. We'll take the photo. And it works for the short term, but everyone really should have a professional headshot. I will say I started as a junior, did not get my internships until I was a senior. So I think a lot of people, it's just something, and I was really adverse to internships because I was like, well, why should I have to get an internship when I have practical experience, But I can say with hindsight, I wish I had started sooner because it not only contributes to, it contributes to your credits at Fordham if you'd like it to.
Right. That's also
with the course, internship course. It's a 4-credit class, I believe. But it also opens up a whole new world of contacts.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you're having trouble finding an internship, you can come talk to the veterans in this office.
Yeah.
Most of us have internships.
So there's resources. I guess I can speak on my experience
sure.
if
I love
like.
that.
So when I first, like I said, the last semester was my first semester at Fordham, and I didn't really know anything about internships and like having to lock down when your junior year. But thankfully, I came to the vet center. I was working here, and it was like, oh yeah, you gotta have your LinkedIn and your, you should try to get like a mentor to kind of like someone that works in that career field. And I was like, man, this is a lot of information coming at me.
Mm-hmm.
But I tapped into it. I was able to, go through Handshake, and I actually was able to do a resume workshop. I booked an appointment through that, so I tapped into the Handshake. And also, another great tool.
Was that with Lily Lee that you did that workshop?
No, but she's gonna be the one
doing ours.
Okay. But I did it through Handshake with school, and then I was able to get my resume done, and I was able to get a mentor through American Corporate Partners, which is a great tool. Yeah. And she kind of guided me through my resume to kind of tailor it toward the field that I was going into.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
A lot of suggestions to use
Phenomenal, right? Phenomenal. And I was able to like kind of get the ball running. I was able to, through Handshake, find internships that are tailored to people who are in their junior year. You can tailor it through your city. And I just kind of tapped into those resources, and I was able to, fortunately, land an internship. But yeah.
Veterans really have a leg up because I've been talking to traditional students as far as the struggle of finding internships. And they're like, I've applied to so many, no one's like taking me. And I empathize with that. But at the same time, I found mine very easily in comparison because of skills that we already have.
Right.
So
I think a lot of the big thing is that like I know for me personally, I felt a lot of imposter syndrome.
Definitely.
Because I feel like I'm in undergrad, I'm older than a typical student, but it's also like you cannot replace life experience.
Definitely not.
And I think a lot of companies recognize that, so that's why they, value veterans. And I remember I was interviewing, and one of the people asked me, oh, like tell me about a time where you had to handle a stressful situation.
Yeah.
And I kind of told the story. And she was like, wow, that was a lot different from my college experience.
That too. Yeah.
And she was like, wow, I was definitely, so that definitely, I definitely say lean into that, right? Because you do have experience that no one else can replicate. Or that give you the upper hand, so.
And a lot of them will step back from that experience because they don't want it to identify them.
Right.
Which I totally understand. Right. I relate to that. It's something I did. It's not who I am. I get it.
Right.
But you need to use every benefit and resource that you have.
Yeah, like you did that. It's one of the things that like definitely don't like. It could help you a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people don't want to go into certain things, but you can just kind of figure which stories that you can tell when it comes to experience. I know for me, like being a corpsman in the Navy, I dealt with a lot of situations where I had to work as a team.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what's like. No, it's
just the nature of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I found that to be just such an interesting comparison between us and your average student.
Yeah.
So, and what I did find surprising is how many people have not written a brag sheet before, because in the Navy, that's, you have to. It's like the average. I'm sure other branches are the same way, but I've met people who we got to the separation process and they were like, I've never written a brag sheet before. I don't know how to write a resume, because you don't know how to translate what you did into action, cause, result, and so on and so forth, whatever the order is, but you know what I mean, and so we sort of have an advantage there, but that's, I think, a really great value of these resume workshops is they teach everybody how to do that.
They teach you how to translate those situations or those work titles into, to the corporate world, to whatever, or civilian world, and I think that really, really helps. That's why these resume workshops, which I highly encourage, you to participate in, because it would take you to the next level.
Definitely.
Because I feel like I said, a lot of people who are like E4s and E5 were like considered work team supervisors, but there's a way you can translate to being, I was an operations manager, right? There's different ways that you can hit those bullet points. I think those resume workshops, those resume builders would definitely help you translate those skills into. Yeah.
I'm 2 years almost away from my separation, and I'm still editing my resume all the time. All the time. It's an ongoing process, and so even attending one of these workshops has really given me the tools to do it on my own later, to tailor it specifically. But of course, I'm still going to go because it's never a bad session. So, The last thing I think that I definitely wanted to mention was that the spring social is nigh. It's approaching, and if any of you attended the fall social, which was a little smaller than our usual, just because it was our first one since
year
COVID.
back,
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was
my
a lot
first
of fun.
one.
I hope it was my first one too. I had a lot of fun. So I hope everyone else did too.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So this spring social is going to be April 22nd.
Okay.
We're still trying to lock down the venue. It's probably going to be most likely in the law building, but
okay,
that location is tentative. But it's for sure April 22nd,
okay,
2022. The weather's gonna be nice, hopefully.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. That means God willing in Arabic.
Yeah.
Or one doesn't know. Sorry.
So. But yeah, that's gonna be April 22nd, which is also Earth Day.
Hey.
We care about the Earth.
We do. The Earth. We're big fans of her work.
Yeah.
But are we doing a raffle again? Do you know? Of like swag stuff?
Yeah, most likely.
Okay.
Most likely we're gonna be doing a raffle. We're gonna try something new too. For those who can't, attend, can still buy a ticket and sponsor something.
Oh, that's so nice.
So we have I don't know if anybody is watching this, or if I can even say that. If you can't attend, but you would still like to donate and sponsor someone else, it would be an opportunity to do that. Something new that we haven't done. So hopefully that works out.
Or if you know someone who's maybe having a harder time financially than you,
so
it'd be so great for them to be able to attend on your behalf. I think that'd be really nice. That's a great idea. That's a new leadership idea. I would love to take credit, but I did not come up with it, unfortunately. That's all Damian. So I see great things in his presidential future, and I'm really excited about it. But we have kept our RamVet community here long enough. We had a lot to tell you guys because it's our first episode of the semester.
This was fun.
This was great. I'm really excited for more episodes. We will eventually, it seems like we have less to talk about, so we end up talking about the most random external things, but hopefully we continue the energy. And Mike will be with us next time, so we'll have it'll be an even bigger conversation. So I really want to thank Damian for his great debut. He did excellent. Welcome to the world of the Vet Scoop. And thank you all for listening. Watch, like, subscribe, rate, etc., and so on. It really helps us in the algorithm, and it helps us also figure out what it is you want to be hearing from us on our end. So thanks. I hope you guys have a great beginning of your semester. We'll talk soon.